Hey everybody, Jacob here, and I'm sitting with my cellos getting ready for an early morning recording session. And I'm trying a little experiment this morning. We've been getting so many emails, questions on the pickup test and electric string player, and a lot of them are great, but I just don't have time to answer all of them. So I thought I could kill a few birds with one stone because a lot of questions get asked over and over again. Yeah, I thought I would make a few quick impromptu videos. I just posted one on Facebook answering another question, so you can check out our Facebook page, and I'm gonna post this one on YouTube, which is where you're probably watching it right now. Yeah, and just leave a comment and let me know if this format is useful for you, or if this is interesting, and I'll make some more. So this question is from Casey, and he wrote, "Hello, I'm trying to achieve a flexibility of sound with my acoustic cello in music production," and he said, "to be able to make it sound like an electric bass. I am not concerned with live performance, okay? Would the purchase of pedal boards and or an electric cello make this more feasible than relying on plugins and preamps inside my DAW?" That's Digital Audio Workstation, his recording software. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting question, particularly because there are so many cellists out there trying to do the faux bass thing, although a lot of them are using acoustic cellos to do it and trying to sound like an acoustic bass. And so the first thing we have to do is kind of reverse engineer this and say, well, there are so many different sounds that come into my mind when we talk about electric bass, right? There's that, James Jamerson Motown sound where he was basically plugging his bass directly into the console. And then there's, Jaco Pastorius, right? Plugging into that big acoustic amplifier, and I think using some chorus, with the fretless, and then there's different pickups and body styles and blah, blah, blah. So my point is that there's like a million different electric bass sounds, but I think your basic question is if you got an electric cello or pedals or a pedal board, would that get you closer than what you can do in the box? So, in terms of getting a really realistic electric bass sound, the cello will always be a poor man's version of the bass. It's kind of a little bit of a gimmick in a way. And so, if you really want to get an authentic electric bass sound, I would use samples or just learn how to play a little bit of electric bass. It's not the world's hardest instrument just to get the basics of, but obviously that's not answering your question. To me, there is an electric cello that will get you way closer to the sound of particularly a fretless electric bass than anything on the market, and that's the NS, right? The CR or the Wave series, I think, that has the toggle switch where it has the bipolar pickup system. Now, without nerding out, what that allows you to do is change how the pickup is tracking the frequencies from vertical to horizontal. And the long shot of that is that it gives you a pretty realistic fretless electric bass sound. You get way more sustain and ring and fatness out of your pits notes than you could using any other electric cello or acoustic cello with a pickup. And starting with a good signal obviously always helps a ton, rather than sending a not so great signal into plugins and trying to put lipstick on a pig. Now, as for whether plugins would be as for whether pedals would be better than plugins or get you closer, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's an age-old debate whether, this virtual effect in amp plugin sounds as good as the real thing. Modeling is always getting cheaper and better and better. And God, there are so many freaking companies, from Bias, Positive Grid, right, to, Line 6 to... Neural DSP. There are millions of companies making virtual plugins, and if you're not going out live, and you're not going to be dragging a laptop live, to me, that's the only reason not to use software these days, as opposed to pedals. So yeah, there's no particular magic pedal or reason why you need to get a pedal. But yeah, if you want to get closer right off the bat, I think the NS would probably be the investment to make there, outside of just, you know, again, getting a cheap electric bass at a pawn shop, you know, and taking a couple of lessons. Anyway, I hope that helps. And yeah, if you like this video, let me know, and I'll make a few more. Take care, you guys.